What's going on, y'all? Hey, so we just getting done cutting the grass. Logo's been chilling in the yard, and she's doing great at that. And so today I'm giving a different perspective because my grass is nicely cut. Heat, heat, good girl. I'm gonna introduce y'all to my Logo. Sit, Logo, up, sit. That's her first time ever getting up on this. So, hey, today we're gonna do, out, we're gonna do some training in a new area. Logo, pay attention. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna try and come up with a few different things to show people what they can do with their dogs if they don't have all the different obstacles that I have. Logo, pay attention. Yes. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use this for an up and a down. Give me 1 second. All right, so we're back. So this is something that I taught my Logo to place her bone on. I always get her to place her bone on a mat. So what I'm gonna practice today is getting her to come and put her bone on this mat when she does the up position. So we're going to feed her. Oh, you did a good job, so good girl. Bring it, stay. We're gonna work from this distance right here, and we're gonna say, heat. Good girl. Sit, heat, sit, good girl. Now we're working, aren't we? Yes, we are. So one thing we could practice if we had some coned out area or just a place to practice would be this, heat. And we're just gonna practice having our dog walk with us while they eat. I put 4 pieces of food, sit. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of food in my hand. And this is how we're gonna do it. Heat. Heat. Pay attention. And now I'm just letting her take them out of my hand as she moves with me. I'm gonna try and make it to this cone right here. Actually, I have 1 left in my hand. And she just got it. Heat. Sit. All right, so now we're gonna do just a handful of them. I'm not gonna keep counting them out. You get the point. Heat. And you just do the walking of the cones. This is just to warm her up to get her used to and ready to work because she has just been sitting in the yard while I was cutting the grass. Sit. Good girl. There's water right over there. She can go get it. Heat. If she needs it, I'm gonna let her start going to get water. That is one thing I am teaching her now. Sit. So I'm still doing the same thing with the same hand. That's why this pouch is helpful. Now I'm gonna go the opposite direction. On the right. On the right. She needs to figure it out. On the right. Yes. On the right. Yes. And I'm just doing the same thing now in the opposite direction with the opposite hand. And you make them come to the food, not your hand go to them. So yesterday I got my first training client from out of state. That was pretty cool. I helped someone. She lives in North Carolina. I don't know her. She just met me on social media and DM'd me, asked for help, and I said I would help. And so for her helping me shoot my first video content, I am doing the training for her for free. She's helping me. That's how it should be. Or on the right, I'm sorry. But she's getting it. You see, this is how I do it, basically. And you just keep repeating the same words to her over and over. On the right, on the right, on the right, on the right. Uh-oh. On the right. So now we're gonna move on and we're gonna do between. Now, if she chooses not to pay attention, now she does have her training collar on today. And the reason why she has her training collar on, sit, is because while I was riding and cutting the grass, I could not 100% talk to her or keep an eye on her. And so the electronic collar is also a form of communication, as well as a form of lighting at nighttime. Back. Good girl. And you can use the vibrate mode, you can use the shock mode, the sound mode. It's all different things you can use it for. And I use it to communicate with her. I used to have one on both sides of her neck, and I would use it and vibrate to let her know which direction we were headed between. So that was something that I just came up with, and I put one vibrate on this side, one vibrate on this side. And when I was trying to let her know which way we were going so she would quit walking into me when she was early on training, it was just the easiest thing to have a button, like a right and a left, to tell her which way to go forward. But I'm not saying go out and do that. That was just something that I played around with to experiment with to see how it would work with her. And it kept her attention. But there's all kinds of things you can do. That's the point that I'm trying to make. There is no consistent thing that me and her do. We do something different so that she doesn't develop a pattern of us having to figure things out. And if you can tell, I'm not talking to her, and that's the benefit of doing training with the food, because you can keep training and talk at the same time or do something else. You could be on the phone, you could do anything. Basically, this is like me being on that video call with the young lady yesterday. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. Oh, I do. Olivia, thank you. Sit. Thank you very much for helping me with my training. And she's out of North Carolina. I posted some photos of the work that we did on my TikTok. I also posted it on my Facebook. On the right, that's where she found me out on TikTok. I'm not good with DMs, y'all. I do not spend time in DM, but I'm saying if you catch me in that format at that time, yes, I will respond. On the right, or I'm confusing myself. Between. I'm saying this is what I'm trying to get into. Heel. On the right. And if I can help you, I will. I think this is going to be amazing because I feel like I can keep prices very, very cheap and do large classes on Zooms. I can do seminars. You can do all kinds of stuff. Heel. If I can help somebody, I will. Between. That's what it's all about, because you get better by helping others. Oh, we almost threw this food. Up. Center. Sit. So that mat is something else that I use to teach her placement. Heel. To teach her placement. Find it. Find it. What happens is you teach them something, and it's this mat. These are horse mats that I just get from Tractor Supply. And what I did is I cut it up into sections, and everywhere that I want her to get familiar with, everywhere that I want her to get familiar with and understand eventually one day we're going to be naming that spot. Sit. I am finding places that I want her to know this is where you stay. And the bone is also that. That's one way that we play. Here we go. Sit. You ready? Up. Logo. Sit. Stay. Go get your bone. Bring it. Heel. Sit. Heel. Sit. Yes. And see, the reason she knows to move back to that point is because I will not bend further than this normally while we're out doing something. So if she don't give me what I'm asking for, up. And this is only her dog food, people. I'm not giving her anything special. That's why I don't advocate giving dogs treats, because you don't get your maximum benefit out of what you have already. Sit. Good girl. Stay. Logo. Pay attention. Get your bone. Sit. Get your bone. Sit. Heel. Sit. Now that wasn't heel, but that heel also means come to me. So come or heel, she knows. If I say come, it just means be anywhere around me. Heel normally means be on my left-hand side. Go to your bone. Logo. Sit. All right, so now she's at her bone. So what I'm gonna try and do is get her to bring her bone and put it on this mat. Get your bone. Bring it up. Logo. Put your bone on the mat. Yes. Hey. Uh-oh. Go get your bone. Up. Up. Yes. Yes. Heel. As long as it's touching the mat, I don't care. I don't get crazy about it. But we're going to fine tune that as she gets older. But but it has to be on the mat. Logo, between. Good girl, sit. Yes. Logo, go get your bone. Up. Sit. That's exactly what I want her to do. Logo, get your bone. Sit. This is teaching her not to move after she gets her bone. That's what I want. All right, so we're just learning this. We're doing this. Look, I'm making this up as I go. I'm not saying this is how you do it. I've never been here before. I am now in uncharted territory. Ain't that right, girl? That's right. Hey! Good girl. Sit. Out. Good girl. Between. So people ask me why I make her do between. Well, one, with between, we take up less space in stores. Forward. We take up less space in stores. Nobody's worried about it. Sit. Whenever I go to a register, I know she's between my legs. Another reason why I do it is because when we're out, people are less likely to put their hands in my crotch area or in her face. If she's sitting over here, people will put their hands on her, they will try and touch her, they will try and feed your dog when you're out in public. And so by putting them between your legs, if somebody walks up behind you, your dog has to turn their head around your leg to communicate or interact with somebody behind you. And that is one way that I use her as a who's approaching from behind me. So with her between my legs, every time she looks this way or she looks this way, it makes me do the same thing. It's a notification for me. Plus, what I'm saying is, this keeps the dog safe. It's like a crate out in public. I use it as a crate, even for moving. It's a moving crate. You put a crate in your car when you're moving in a car or an airplane, rise, back. It's a moving crate, and I need her to be able to move backwards just so she can move forwards. We've been working on forwards a lot longer than we've been doing backwards, forward. So, sit. That is one reason. I'm gonna show you why. Heel. So if she's sitting over here, sit. And I'm sitting and I'm talking to somebody, even though I have my leash on her, if somebody approaches from this side over here, which I had somebody do at Tractor Supply, a lady walked up and tried to give my dog food without asking me permission. That is one reason why I went to this right here. This makes it so when your dog is a puppy, they can't chew or bite at people's hands. I taught my Logo to carry this, and she is not allowed to have attention unless, from anyone, she's not allowed to be pet unless she has this bone. So this is one way I discipline out in public. If I take this bone from her, she knows at that moment when I put it in my pocket, no one's touching you for the rest of the day. And then what I'm saying is when I put this in her mouth, she knows she's free to be pet. That is one thing that has taken a long time for us to understand, but she now understands it. That's why when you see her in every picture rolling around on the ground, she still has this bone in her mouth because she's been trained that if you don't have this bone, this is like her cell phone. She has to carry it everywhere. This is also her crate. I teach her to go to it and wait. Logo, go to your bone. Sit. Go to your bone. Down. And so she knows now that if she leaves that spot without me telling her, I know where she was supposed to be. And that leads to correction if she leaves. Logo, get to your bone. Sit. Stay. See, she knows I wasn't paying attention, and that's what she wants. Stay. But that's what happens. I let her lay down in a relaxed state. That's what normally she gets to do when she's relaxed. And I'll show you. Logo, down. Free. She knows she's in a relaxed state because whenever I send her to her bone, it's kind of like that's where you're going to be for a while. If I throw her bone anywhere, like in a shaded spot in the yard, that means don't leave that spot. So that is her crate when she goes somewhere, just as much as my old duck cage is now her new crate when I want to leave her outside for a long period of time. But basically, these are the things that I do, and I'm going to be honest, we're almost out of food. I'm going to run through this food very quickly. I hope I gave some pointers. Logo, get your bone. Get your bone. Find it. Find it. Bring it up. Put it on your mat. Yes, sit. Good girl. And that's how you do put it on your mat or whatever you want to name it. Look, what my point is, sit. You can name things anything you want to name them. There is no right or wrong. Rise. You can name it Krispy Kreme if you want to. It doesn't matter. You just have to remember the words that you want your dog to understand. He. That is all it is. And you have to come out every day and play with your dog in some sort of manner. It doesn't matter what it is. You have to formulate what you want your dog to be able to do. These are the things that I need my dog to do because she moves with me through the world. Every time we go out in public and I find a scenario that did not sit well with me, one that irritated me, then I came home and I tried to come up with a way that me and her were going to combat that situation. And what I'm saying is, no two dogs are the same, just like no two people are the same. Find it. So since no two people are the same and no two dogs are the same, that means no two ways of training can be the same. Now, the basics of training can be the same. Teaching you how to sit, how to stay, all those things can be the same basics. But everything else, you're gonna have to like adapt it to your life. Between, you see how she's sitting and paying attention because she knows we're working on food. Hey, I'm gonna run through this just so she can get done. Between, on the right, hey, we're done. Yes, it's all gone. On the right, oh, you almost got it wrong. But this is full 2 cups of food. Hey, I've been doing 2 cups of food 1 time a day now. I have not done anything else. Look up, figure 8. Yes, good girl. Yes. Figure 8. Yes. Yes, good girl. She's doing it flawlessly now. Figure 8. Yes. Yes, good girl. Figure 8. This is the last of it. Yes. Yes. Sit. Good girl. Up. Get your bone. Uh-oh. Find it. She dropped one. She's finding it though. Find it is a game I like to play with her because later on I would like to work on scent training. Oh, she's laying down in the shade. She found some shade. Look up. Up. Get your bone. Now she's never been on this before. Get your bone. Bring it. Sit. Out. Bring it. Turn. Sit. All right. So, hey, we just finished. I have no food left. My hands are a mess. I'm going to see if I can get her to go over there and get some water. Logo, out. Go get some water. Oh, she's learning. So I'm sending her, I got a water spot over here now. I got a water spot over here under a tree. I send her to both of them and then she's supposed to come back to me. Let's see if she does it. And if she does, without me saying anything, I'll just turn off this camera and be done. We had fun. Oh, she's drinking plenty. But basically, all I do is I come out in the morning and I play with her a little bit and I teach her how to wait patiently for me to come back to play with her again. And I just do that several times a day. Every time I get lonely, like people who are smokers, every time you get the urge to go out on a smoke break, this is the perfect time to take your dog out with you. You get where I'm coming from. Take your dog out and instead of picking up your phone and being on TikTok, she's still drinking water, goodness. Instead of picking up your phone and being on social media, I'm saying, do this a little bit. Play with your dog. Hey, come. She did not come back automatically, but I'm still gonna turn it off. Oh, she's over there rolling around on the ground. Logo, come. You can roll around over here. Come. Good girl, up. Good girl, sit. Yes. And we're done. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in. This your boy and his girl Logo. We starting to have fun together. And I'm saying a lot of that is because of this camera. I kid you not. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all of the questions and comments. And I just say thank y'all. Much respect, much love. And we out. Hey.